On the podcast today, we have a senior day student from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Cooper Gentle. We're so glad to have you here. He is a varsity football player.
He's a linebacker, and he wears number 17, which we'll get into later in the show.
Does a lot of other sports too, right? He's a varsity wrestler.
He's a varsity track and field athlete.
He is a 4-time Stuco member.
And he's a 4-time Senate representative, and he's actually the current president of the Senate.
He's also been in a lot of student organizations such as Kio Kai currently and TEPS your sophomore year. So we have a lot to talk about, Cooper, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first game we'll get into is a game we like to call Quickfire. Do you know the rules of Quickfire?
I do not know the rules of
Okay,
Quickfire.
so basically, me and Johnny will go back and forth asking you questions. They're super quick questions, so you just need to say whatever's on the top of your head. We don't want you to think about like your answer for these questions at all. You just got to go.
Okay.
You ready for the first question?
Yes.
Johnny, you want to start?
Yeah, let's start it off. Go-to bookstore snack.
Double-decker oatmeal cream pie.
If you could play a different sport, what would it be?
Rugby.
Best new dining hall meal or item so far.
Ravioli.
Okay, at what temperature do you switch from shorts to pants?
That's a lot lower. I sweat easy. That might be like, if I'm staying outside, it might be like 55. But if I'm just walking between classes, it might be like 40.
What is your favorite class this year?
I have Mr. Jameson again. I had him in 8th grade. I have him for Justice and the Personal Code of Honor. That's pretty awesome.
That's
Okay,
cool.
and what's the best book you've read in a class?
I liked The Road, but I also
yeah.
we read The Brothers Karamazov.
Oh, yeah. That was long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was long, but it was rewarding.
Yeah, so, dang, the shorts and the pants, you like to keep it pretty cold?
Yeah, I just sweat a lot. So
Yeah,
it's
that
nice
makes sense.
to-
That makes sense.
I agree. I can handle the cold. I can't handle the
heat.
hot feeling. Now it's the worst.
But for any non-Macaulay viewers, we got a new dining hall this year, and it's been really good. I definitely relate to you on the ravioli there, but that's a good pick. But I guess we'll head straight into it, Cooper. So how long have you been playing football?
I've been playing football about since I was like 6 or 7.
Oh, yeah.
It was back in kindergarten days.
Yeah. I bet you were a menace back in the day, too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about playing football?
It's got to be the physicality.
Physicality.
I used to just kind of run into the linemen and not really try to get the ball, but it was just because I liked the physicality part.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better.
Yeah. Yeah. We know you're a linebacker, but if you were to play any other position, what would it be?
Running back or fullback?
Yeah.
Those-
Just to
those
hit
would be
people?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. That
You're
makes
just
sense.
going for the people, it seems. So this year you're wearing number 17, and to the non-Macaulay viewers and even some Macaulay viewers, that might be just like a number, but on the Macaulay football team, it means a lot more, right, Cooper?
Yeah.
So could you kind of explain to the audience and tell us, like, what does wearing number 17 mean?
So it's a number that was a players that played for Coach Potter and Coach Richardson back when they were actually at Baylor. But then he'd graduated and they'd moved to Macaulay. And the player he was an awesome guy. He just loved football. He was physical. He was a linebacker and a fullback. But he even though the coaches switched, he still loved Coach Potter and Coach Richardson. And so he was like still going to get dinner with them, get meals with them when he would come back in town. He kept talking to them. And he passed away while he was in college. And so this number is in honor of him, but it's also given to people that are like most embody what he embodied, which whether that be in loving football or in leadership qualities.
Great. Yeah, I mean, that was a great answer. I mean, that was deep. I didn't even know some of that history.
Yeah, it's pretty,
Yeah.
it's got a good history to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess we'll go to a more lighthearted thing, but just I guess looking ahead like for your season, Like, where are you? I mean, I'm sure that the team is chasing the three-peat. So where is your mindset as an individual? And then also maybe you could speak to the team a little bit. Just where's your mindset ahead of that?
I think my mindset is definitely taking it one game at a time.
Yeah.
Never underestimating anybody. You know, three-peat's not even on our minds.
Yeah.
Like, we're just thinking about the next game,
Yeah.
and we're just thinking about doing our best and doing our job.
Yeah.
Wow. Great attitude.
Yeah.
That's number 17 right there.
Yeah.
Speaking. So you also wrestle, don't you?
Yes,
You're talking about
I
how you
do.
like physicality in football.
Yes.
If there's one sport that I think of physicality, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
So how long have you been wrestling for?
I've been wrestling, I think, since like 2nd or 3rd grade. So almost as long as I've been playing football.
That's crazy. So you've been putting in a lot of hours to both of those sports, I guess. So what weight class do you compete in?
So last year I competed in heavyweight, which
Yeah.
is 285, but I weighed about 225 during the season. This year I might be going heavyweight again, or I might be going 215.
Okay.
How does how will that like affect your game plan going into wrestling? Because I understand a lot of wrestlers, like when it comes to making weight, it's like a huge part of their game and how they think about their training.
So are you talking about like making weight?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. How will that like affect your training? Do you think?
I don't think it'll affect my training that much because, again, I sweat a lot. It'd be so easy for me to make weight. I can just like start stretching in the wrestling room, and I'm already have a full sweat going. But like game plan wise, going into matches, I'll need to have better conditioning because I'm going against people that are lighter. But also, it'll be very helpful to go against people that are lighter than me rather than people that are about like 60 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of making weight, we were just curious if you had any stories of like barely making weight or like you're scared of.
He's heavyweight, so he's always below.
I guess,
wasn't he?
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've never really had to cut much.
Yeah. You just always been on the ball.
More just like I've never had to go down in weights.
That makes sense.
But here's a story about other people making weight around me. We were in a hotel room for state, not this past year, but the one before. And I decided that I wanted to make a steak in the hotel room because they had the stove
Yeah.
and a Walmart was nearby.
Yeah.
And so I go to use the stove in my room, and I'm roommates with Teddy Wingfield,
Uh-huh.
and the stove doesn't work. And so I just thinking about it, like, or without really thinking about it, I go to across the hall to some other wrestlers' rooms to ask to use their stove.
Yeah.
And they're nice and they say yes. But what I ended up doing was making a steak in the room with 2 kids that are cutting like a ton of weight. And so their room just smelled like steak for the rest of the trip.
Did they give you a bunch of, I guess, were they mad about it?
They were lighthearted about it, but we still joke about it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That was pretty funny. On to your not your last sport, but your third sport of the the fall, winter, spring cycle. You also are a track and field athlete, more field athlete.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
can you describe how long have you been in that? And did you start off with different events and now end up in shot put like where you are?
So I started doing track and field in 7th grade. And in 7th grade, I was doing a weird mix. It was like shot put, discus, and then hurdles, which you don't really see that much. And I think it was about the same for 8th grade. And then when I got into high school, I just did shot put, or shot put and discus. And last year I was just shot put.
That's great. But sorry, I was gonna move into the weights and conditioning aspect of it because I mean to throw shot put, I'm assuming you have to be really strong. And so for any non-Macaulay viewers, weights and conditioning has just always been difficult at Macaulay, but throwers weights has a reputation to be the most difficult. So I mean, what do you have to say about that? And then also I've seen you in the weight room, you're very you're just a leader. You lead by example. So can you speak to how you do that? And then just, yeah.
So throwers weights is definitely the most demanding,
Yeah.
physically demanding of I think any weights at Macaulay.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the most rewarding too. And what you get with throwers weights is a culture of people that know they're going in there to do something hard,
Yeah.
and they're still doing it,
Yeah.
and they're doing it 4 times a week,
Yeah.
and they're going in there for, I think it's about 40 minutes,
Yeah.
for 3 mornings, and then maybe closer to an hour when
Yeah.
it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But you just get a culture of elite guys who
Yeah.
want to train, so you don't have to do that much to
Yeah.
try to keep them up to the standard because they want to be there.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
got to nudge them in the right direction if they ever
Yeah.
fall off or if they aren't aware that they might
Yeah.
be doing something wrong. Like everyone wants to get better in that
Yeah.
group.
I just wanted to also just ask a follow up. Like, I mean, are there any days where you just aren't really feeling it? And then if there are, like, what do you tell yourself to get your mind right?
For me, what I do is like there's so many days that I wake up sore, wake up tired.
Yeah.
Especially like imagine summer weights. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
getting there at 6:30 to work out. And it's really just you have to set a like standard in your mind, and you can't ever go below the standard.
Yeah.
And the standard for me is you got to get there on time.
Yeah.
I normally like to get there at least like 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
But get there on time and like be ready to lift.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Can't just get there and just be hanging around. Like,
Yeah.
If you just set that to the standard, even if you ever fall below it, which you shouldn't if it's
Yeah.
the standard.
Yeah.
But like before, I've gotten stuck in traffic, stuff
Yeah.
like that, and that 15 minutes early got to like 10 minutes early or 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
And if you set standards where you can have grace if you mess up or
Yeah.
stuff like that, it'll help.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. We definitely see your leadership on the field and in the weight room, like a lot. I think everybody at Macaulay does. But you're also a student leader in a lot of other ways in terms of campus life and student life. Describe some of your leadership. Describe being on Kyokaio right now. What's that like?
So being on Kyokaio right now, we are in the process of making the Kyokaio shirt for Rivalry Week.
Oh, yeah.
So we've had a few meetings about that. And there's not too much other than that going on right now. We're probably going to try to get together some community service activities to do soon. But it's right now what I've done is I've helped come up with ideas for the shirt, and I've tried to use AI to imagine an idea.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did AI come up with? Or can you tell us that?
Well, I was using it to make an image.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna use it.
Okay.
It would be funny to have an AI shirt.
That would be funny.
Kyokaio shirt.
Did it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It looked pretty good though.
Yeah.
It was meant to look like an oil painting, and it definitely did.
That's good. I was gonna say, I know you're on student council as well, and I was on student council for 1 year. I've seen you in the meetings. You suggest some of the, you suggest a lot of ideas. So I was gonna ask this year, do you have any crazy, or maybe not any crazy, but just some spoiler / ideas that you've come up with, or?
I don't. We're gonna have a meeting today.
Yeah.
But I will say one of my longtime goals
Yeah.
is to get some of those like battle balls, like the inflatable ones
Yeah.
you get in,
Yeah.
and have some sort of athletic event with that.
Oh yeah.
It might be kind of hard though because it's not the safest thing.
Yeah. But I mean that fits your personality so well, because I mean, like you said, you're super big into the physicality. But I guess, Johnny, would you like?
I'll
me
take
to-
the last question. So, what's one piece of advice you'd give to an incoming freshman at Macaulay, whether it be about their athletic experience, whether it be getting involved in student leadership, or anything of the sort? What would you say?
I think setting a standard is definitely something you should do. Like, especially as a boarder, it would be easy to go from like if you have 7:40 workouts to go from waking up at 7 for those to waking up at 7:30 rushing down. You need to set a standard early and just make sure you get it right every time.
I mean, that's a great answer.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think. Yeah, that's. I wish I set myself better standards like you do.
yeah, I mean, you were so right about just giving yourself some leeway. I mean, you can even apply what you said about with getting early to the weight room, just starting early on your homework. So if it takes long, like you have a safety net, or just not procrastinating. So that's some great advice, Cooper. Thank you, Cooper, for being on the show today.
And thank you for having me. It was very fun.
Oh yeah,
And thanks to everyone for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate everyone.
Tornado.
Talk.
Out.
See you guys next time.